Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, yeah.
When we were supposed to have come, at the very day was from the Secret Service called and said we shouldn't go. But I had to speak to the sitting there in the Nigerians there. The minister education was already there. And thank God and have an understanding that we're just man, all the things that we do, the great thing we're fighting, can be wiped out. I mean, when I look at the house necessary, but even the streets, how they are bumped. They had to use donkeys to go to labor, goods and services to that great country that has everything. We should thank God for what we enjoy here in Liberia, in the midst of all of our problems and the poverty. I mean, the difficulty that God has favored us. My only concern always has been that we take too many things for granted for a number of years. We don't have roads, but we don't care. For a number of years, no educational system, but we don't care. But we take so much delight in other countries. One could enjoy life in other countries. Let me tell everybody here, and I'm telling you honestly, it had never been my desire to fight president for this. But my desire has always been that this country will be a country well respected. I don't even think about myself. It's not about presidency. It's about a country that's so blessed that would treat us so lightly. And you can see when teams work together. From the time I've been going to the States, where as president, the Secret Service that worked with me, this is the best team we have ever had. I mean, the commitment of these people, not speaking to you, just doing their work, from taking us through the halls of the UN, going through the traffic there, trying to avoid violating the rules, and up to the point when we drove, because most people were saying we didn't go by road to Providence. How those people were so organized. We went by road, it was like the group ahead of us is informed. We get there, they change the vehicle, and we move. I mean, I have always been someone who believes in organization, in things working. I safe to say, and you're not giving these people anything. You give them money, they don't take it. But they are committed up to the time that we came back to. I mean, everywhere you go, that's the kind of commitment that we lack. Everybody fighting. Let me let you know, I had always come to respect people, and I always said that even the person who cleaned the bathroom for me, I respect them. God cannot, He didn't make everybody, if everybody was equal or running the same, that's not who will serve whom. But that's what the Bible says. Whatever we do, let's do it as if we're doing it for God. I always say, take women for example. You travel a long distance. All of you travel, you're hungry. But by the time you get there, you're fixing food. Not that they are not hungry. It's responsibility. Something that we lack here. Everybody fight. And I can tell you, when the time comes, God will give you what you want. I don't have to tell you about myself. So I want to thank all of you here who are coming. There are a lot of you here who are working. Some of you haven't even been paid. But it's for the country. And we appreciate all of you. I appreciate people who love their country, who work for their country. This trip that we made, it was a trip. Why do you think I've left for me alone? I wouldn't even leave this country. I didn't even go to my farm. But if people are honest to know the situation this country is in the sub-region, we will work much harder. Because 177 years, you don't have road, our people of country can have drinking water, the cities are not laid up. And you don't understand the difficulty in that. Not that people are lazy. The women are full the other day. Every day they're calling for help. I said, but every time we help you, you say, we grow rice, but we can't sell it. The rice is there. You don't understand the difficulty when a country is not structured properly. You think it's simple. You think that people are lazy, but they produce, they can't sell because the system is not in place. When we used to have cooperative, people produce. When I was at LPNC, they will bring the right to buy, they go and produce. It's not in place. And most of us don't understand. Even most of us believe that because we're in Monrovia with right car, that's not life. Life goes beyond just yourself. And that's a commitment that we bring to the job. And that's what I'm stuck in this. This is not the talking point, but these are things that come to my mind. I'm telling you honestly, I can ride wheelbarrow to go to that mansion. I don't care. But this country, we must build it ourselves. You come from one part of the world, everything is in place. You come to another part, everything is out of place. And people don't care. One go here, one goes there, one goes, and this country can even be better than those places because what is it? You live in a nice house, a clean environment, you have road, you have drinking water, you can just turn it on. That will keep you over there. That was some of the people that want to be over there, they want to be here, they want to come home for Georgia and do it. You got to be there or be here, let's struggle and build this. And so I want to thank all of us. Like the Bible says, like this mind being you. It was in Christ Jesus. That's the commitment I have. I don't have to be here. I can live without this. We made a trip. We left here. I'm glad that we are back. We went to attend investment forum in Canada. And I think the advantage of doing that is that we used to have an embassy in Canada. The ambassador there, Funisha, used to live right here. Canada is a very powerful country. We have a lot of Liberians, they have about 30,000 without representation. And when you live in a country without representation, it means that anything can happen to you. You don't have anywhere to go. But also opportunities there. We went there and we found out that there were people there who have been yearning for this. We had very good meetings, a very good contact, made several appeals for help for our country. In Canada, we asked for investment. That's what we need in this country. I think sometimes I wonder whether people really know the degree to which our people have been suffering. From the time coup took place in 1980, it began to marginalize people. Then the war moved people. Simply because we're sitting around here, there are people hurting in this country. People who lost their parents. They don't have any future. And people say, sometimes we say that people can beg. They beg because nowhere to turn. When we were growing up in this country, I came from nowhere, but you could get no job to do something. Today, nothing. People are just, more and more people have been left behind. They turn to drugs because they left them with parents, they need parents. With family members who don't have the time themselves, they don't have the resources, so they take to the streets. That's the commitment we have. Those are the people we're talking about. And so we go around looking for jobs. It will take a long time to bring this country to a level where people have hope in it. And that's why we're going. I always say the thing that's chasing you, if it doesn't stop running, you can stop running. Our country isn't proud. Plenty of children. At the UN, we have to speak on street children, we have to speak on the youth, we have to speak to people to listen. People who have and have the possibility to help, but they're not going to help if we don't strengthen our country, if we don't become responsible. I take an example of JFK. When we took over, the doctors, when they prescribe, they send you to a drugstore. And then recently, when we put a bank in there and a clinic, a drugstore, so that people now will prescribe to do a ticket and go buy them. Sometimes we don't care, we don't go around. But when God gave you an opportunity, He gave it to you for you to use it to better other people's condition. And so at the UN we spoke. And myself, I was to an extent proud to speak because it was a balanced speech. You heard some speakers when they spoke of countries, like when I listened to the president of Turkey, all he was bouncing on the Israeli war. But yes, the Israeli war is there, but we were turning all around the points, things that are affecting not just Liberia. And we thank God for that. The speech there is 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they start cutting you off. But I don't know how we managed. I think for just 15 minutes, they didn't cut us off and watch. And again, part of it also is to boost the private sector. No matter what we do in this country, the government cannot absorb. If the government employ everybody, then there won't be a country. Who will pay it? Where the money will come from? That's why we go around appealing to people I don't care where you feel like, what side you own, this country is in trouble. For the last couple of years, there's been no investment, but they have people who have not worked. Some of them are in offices, they're not working. And the pride of it is not just to even give you money, but to work. You go to school to learn so you can use the education. There's no opportunity to do it. Of course, when people tell you sit here and we give $5 every month, you'll be happy. But it doesn't bring you out. What did you go to school for? And those are the things that we're moving around to do. So we're able to talk with the private sector. And besides that, at the United Nations, we inform them about the progress we are making. It might be slow. You will not see it, but things are improving. Some of the things are improving. So we have to report about what we're doing, how we help to improve situations, to encourage the people, because people get tired of you, that you're going through the same circle. I mean, your life can improve, they help you. Let me tell you, I don't care what you do in the world, you will always have money coming to this country. But we don't need money for development. If you money to keep you alive, like dress in you. But I will take care of your children, that will send them to school, won't do it. We have to have investment. We have to be able to build the capacity of our people to produce, to have that dignity. You don't always want to be a beggar. And so we did a better because we will be realizing economic growth. We have to be committed to work. Some people here are not looking for a job, actually, they're looking for payroll. They just say, thank God I'm on payroll. But that payroll you on, where the money gonna come? You gotta learn to work. So at the UN, we're able to meet one-on-one, the Secretary General. But what really I'm very proud of, and I want to thank Madam Shirley, but our presence there to help boost our daily. To get a seat as non-permanent member of the Security Council. We were founding members of the UN, the League of Nations, to the United Nations. Those 10 seats there, we want to have one of them. And we can see the African presidents were there. Akufo-Addo was there. Even Saul Ramaphosa. They all saw me and leave. They told me we are here, we're supporting, we are leaving. We're supporting. And so even people like Nima Boli, Nima was not there, but she wrote, there's a video was supposed to show, but not. People came from all over Nigeria to show patriotism. They showed that they were interested in our country. And the Liberians, it was like a celebration. So we want to thank the future. They couldn't give them a future yet, but they still show interest in their country. So we learned that for our position. And I'd like to thank all of those who were there. We left to go to Prague. Some Liberians, one of the Liberians we met there is a member of the House of Representatives there, young man. And people are very happy for the Liberians who've been living there. They've been doing a good job. Some of them have commitment, but our attention, we drew their attention. Yes, while you're there, we're talking about Liberia. There is a senator there who have a lot of Liberians, more than 4,000 Liberians. He helped during the time they were trying to get him out of the country. One single person. And sometimes that's what makes America great. That you can take people from another place to promote them to be in your country. How many countries in the world? And not everybody does. Especially for the very kind-hearted person, tireless person, we met the near of the city in Fana.
You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tuto Spoon.
Okay, folks, what a way to welcome you to the edition of the program. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. I want to say thanks to everyone tonight. Thanks for joining us across the world. This is where we talk Liberia. This is where the young people come to talk the issues. This is where we talk Liberia. We bring you the updates. We bring you critical analysis from a diverse panel here every night. And we afford you the time to have your say, to weigh in your thoughts on those different issues of national concerns. And so I'd like to welcome you to the program tonight. My name is Nelson Colette. The Late Night Show, we are live across the internet tonight. As always, we are live on YouTube. Spoon Talk Live is our YouTube handle. Thanks to all of you who have already joined us on Facebook. We are there on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. Many thanks to our folks across the country joining us via radio on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and other frequencies across the country. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Kindly share the program as you come on. Let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. Lots of issues across the country. And we're here tonight to bring those issues to you as they unfold. Again, thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Let me recognize a few of you in the comment section who are here with us very early. And we're hoping that you can share the show, share the program as you join us tonight on your Facebook status, on in your WhatsApp groups, on your Facebook groups. And let's hope we can have a lot of folks joining us tonight. I see Joseph Gaffron is here. Oh, Joseph, thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on tonight. David Colley has joined us as well. Edward Crusoe, James Say is here. John Bryant, thanks for joining us tonight. I see our dear sister Lavette Bondo is here tonight. Abraham Amara Donor, thanks for joining us. Abraham Bayoga, thanks for being here. John, that's James Brown. Thanks for joining us tonight. John Oberly, thanks for coming on. We appreciate Eddie Kawa for being on here tonight. Nuosi Elliott, thanks for joining us. Adu, that's Abu, Chief Flomo, thanks for coming on tonight. Nathaniel K. Hill, as always, we appreciate you tonight. I see William Bafambule, thanks for joining us tonight. My own ma'am, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Madam Joyce Clinton Hammer, thanks for joining us, mama. We appreciate you tonight for coming on. G. Markintosh Zawolo, Alice Band, Filmina Yeswa, I hope I got that right. Philip Colley, Madam Mariah Sando Yinatu, Jerry Gitawe, Adam Kamara, Eric McGill. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation here. A lot is happening across the country. Lynn Lakpo, Stephen Keita, thanks for coming on tonight. Abu Kane is here. Khalifa Kane has joined us tonight. Jason, that Jobson Momo, Edward, thanks for coming on tonight. Trocon Bacon, we appreciate Sylvester Kankawa Senior. Thanks for coming on tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Please share the program as you come on tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation talking about Liberia, talking about the different issues across the country today. And I want to welcome everyone tonight to another edition of the program. This is the late night show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. And we appreciate every single person for coming on tonight. So lots of issues happening across the country. There's a whole lot to talk about tonight. And just very quick on the updates. A lot of you already know the president is back in the country. President Joseph Yuma Boakai returned from the UNGA where he went to make the case for Liberia, like other world leaders have been doing. And the Liberian leader has been there. While there, he attended the um, he had engagements, some of the engagement with the UN security, that's the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Not just that, he went on to talk about to lobbying for this position, this bid that Liberia has for the non-permanent member at the UN Security Council. Yes, and it was a lengthy one. You listen to the president, the different issues he spoke of, the passion he has for the country, how much he wants to see Liberia succeed, meeting with Liberians in that part of the world, in the US, trying to make sure that Liberia's case is presented to the rest of the world. We're going to dive into some of those issues here tonight. A complete analysis of the president's speech when he came back. That's something we're going to do. And then on the flip side, there are lots of other issues happening today. The U.S. ambassador Mark Turner appeared on the state radio, and he spoke on a lot of other issues, Liberia, the U.S. Liberia's relations, and how it's going so far. Taking over from Michael McCarthy, and all of that. But key among those things he said today was the issue of Liberians. Now, there has been this concern over the time as to why does the U.S. deny so many Liberians, wanting visa to go to the U.S. That has been a concern, and responding to that, he said that over 50% of Liberians who travel to the US don't get to come back. They don't get to return home. And that Liberia is ranked fourth on the US Department of State list of countries with the highest visa rejection rate from 2023-2024 period, and with a rejection of 78.91%. And he said the reason why most times Liberians get denied visa is because a lot of them are not sincere. They go to the embassy, maybe they say they want to have they want to go on a vacation, on some family visit or something, and maybe the stipulated time there is 2 months, 3 months or so, but they don't get to live up to the time frame. They don't get to come back, and so he says that's one of the major reasons why most Liberians get denied visas when they go to the U.S. embassy. And just talking about the ranking, Liberia's position on the list of countries with the highest visa rejection rate. Liberia as a country, given her own ties with the US, the historical connection that the United States of America and Liberia has. The ambassador said on the list of countries that has the highest visa rejection in the world, Liberia sits at number 4. And this is concerning. Liberia sitting at spot number 4, talking about the countries that encounter this issue. But he went on to talk about the need, some plans to have, Liberia, the U.S. Liberia relation, you know, stronger than ever, and that The whole denial thing is not as a result of any personal bias against Liberia, but it's only based on the fact that the track record, that most Liberians will not um, return, you know. But again, there are different analysis people will make around this issue because the first thing is that anyway, this is just the update. We're going to come back. We'll make the analysis around this issue. But on the flip side, yes, the president, we already spoke of that. The president returned to the country, expressing serious disappointment over the behavior of some public officials, not demonstrating honesty and sincerity as they come to public service. Well, the president thinks that so many people in government will have to double up. It's not just about the paycheck. It's not just about how much you're taking home at the end of the month, but what level of productivity are you bringing to government, to public service? When you leave public service today, aside from just the salaries that you are able to make or take home at the end of the month, what will you be able to point to as a hammer, as your contribution you made while serving in government? So he emphasized the need for public officials to go beyond just the salaries, but look at how much of a contribution they can make respectively in those different positions that they've been entrusted with. And so this is where we are. Plus a lot of other issues happening across the country. It's going to be a great conversation tonight, and I want to welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. Now, most of you are aware that just two quick updates. Then I'm going to bring the team on because I see the guys are already coming on. Quite recently, there was a video circulating on the social media in which you saw a female graduate seen in her gown. She was still dressed in her graduation gown. And she was being arrested by a court sheriff from the Burrillville Magisterial Court. And so that has been a very important issue that has claimed the attention of a lot of people across the world. And even the judicial system of the country has been concerned about that as well. Why would a student be arrested on her graduation day? Well, information has it that she paid a portion of her graduation fee, but she owed the institution some arrears and stuff like that. And so she was being arrested on the graduation day. The court has taken a decision on that. That's just a quick update I'd like to throw in. Chief Justice Siane Yo has suspended the Burrillville Magisterial Court the judge there has been suspended for the issuance of a writ against a female graduate, and there are further investigations going on in this matter. But in the same time, the court has ordered the shutdown of the magisterial court in Clay Ashland, and so the court has taken serious issue in this particular case. The court has taken keen interest in it, and you can look forward to seeing what happens. Recently, there has been some flooding situations across the country. The rainy season is still here. Riverside County is one of the counties that was recently hit by a serious flooding situation in the country. There were reports from Nimba County as well about how flooded several parts of the country that county was. And so the National Disaster Management Agency is calling on the government and humanitarian organization to give them some financial support to help save lives, as flooding has become a major issue in the country today. So they want more money, more support, whether logistic, finances, and just whatever it is that will get them up, get them more effective as they go ahead across the country trying to address those emergencies, especially the one that has to do with flooding. So these are just a few of the updates I thought to provide as we now move on to get the show started tonight. And again, I want to welcome everyone to the late night show tonight. Let me welcome Bila Soiree. Bila, thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here. And let me begin by saying good evening to you and good evening to all many Liberians who always taking upon your time, whether by radio, by Facebook, by YouTube, to listen to the conversation. And it's a pleasure once more to be here, and thanks for the great job.
Yeah, so Bila, I just want you to do your opening as we kickstart the conversation tonight. What's on your mind? What would you like to kickstart the show with? Just your opening. Just take 1 minute, and then we'll go to the actual talking points. And
Thank you.
I
Thank
want
you
to
so
say to
much.
our folks
And
again, kindly share the program as we come on tonight. Let's hope we can have a great show. Peter, go ahead as we.
thank you so
Mm,
much. And let me say this to all women, well, many Liberians, that it is obvious that we find ourselves in a time of predicament, and sometimes you are very indecisive as to where you want to go, how you want to proceed with your life. And at the end of the day, you feel discouraged about why you should be in existence, or why you should inventory your time into certain field of study or career that you chose to achieve. There are a lot of challenges along the way. Sometimes you feel like this is not my red area. Sometimes you feel like I miscalculated what I should do in life. And it is obvious that we are, as individuals, we find ourselves in this situation. But what can you do, obviously, to keep the ball rolling? It is to be prayerful. It is to be that strong-minded human being who you always say to yourself, yes, I can make it. And I think I should make progress with this thing. In life, and we all have had our own disagreement in disappointment as to how we see in life that whether by the means of wanting to question your creation, your creator, what about the means of sitting and believing that, oh, I didn't find myself in the right country, or I needed to be in this country. There are some of these mindsets some have come to you. So I just want to use this opportunity as a piece of encouragement to each and every one other. Whether you find yourself in the garage, you find yourself doing your little business, whether as a student, whether someone who wanting to attain a law degree, or whatever place you find yourself, keep believing that you can make it. And that belief is one thing that should always push you ahead. I just thought to do that as a little way of inspiring other young people out there, or whosoever listening to the program, to keep going with your dream and your goal. And I hope we can have a very unique conversation here tonight. Like Nelson said, please share the show so as to getting more people having the following the conversation. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Peter. I like it when sometimes you come in with the 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 motivation.
Yeah,
But one motivational message you tried to pull out the other day, it was,
I know. I
you
don't get
know,
me talking about that Lily's night thing.
I was thinking as to whether you had your message rating or you were just trying something, my man. But
No.
it can only get better.
Nelson
It can
got
only
your
get better
fire.
with time and everything.
But
We
Nancy,
can.
I wanted to ask you a question. Was there a certain thing on the spoon talk today? Well, you got
Well,
wearing uniform, especially you and the CEO.
but let me tell you something.
Yeah,
The official color of Spoon is blue.
yeah,
So as you see in the background, I mean you can see the background, right?
yeah. I see in the
You know,
background.
you see the background is blue. So
Yeah.
coincidentally, accidentally, yeah,
Even
but
when you
yeah, that's
accidentally.
what it is. And yeah, but it's a great thing that we're here again tonight, Bila, and
Yeah,
I want to welcome all of our folks across the country.
yeah,
Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. But Bila, I want us to start this conversation tonight with the U.S. ambassador, man. Let's start the conversation from here.
Okay.
You know, we have had this situation over the time where a lot of Liberians will complain about how they'll go to the embassy, they apply for visa. Some of the folks will have study, traveling opportunity, just the opportunity to go and advance themselves, studies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some of them will complain how you get at the embassy is a whole different case. And sometimes your document or whatever you carry, doesn't get to be reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the folks will complain that, oh, I was denied 3-4 times. And one side of the whole thing is that someone may say, look, it is the right of the US government or the authorities to decide who to allow in their country. And then folks on the other side have consistently argued that given Liberia's own tie with the US, there shouldn't be this very high rate of rejection. Now, and even when all those conversations were going on, a lot of people were not looking at the US Department of State own rating, and the different stars with respect to where Liberia said how the whole issue of rejection and stuff like that is at the US Embassy. Today, the ambassador appeared on the media and he was engaged. He was asked on this particular issue. His response was that one of the reasons why this country called Liberia, that was founded by the American Colonization Society, this country that started in America and later migrated to this place called Liberia and joined the other Liberians that were here and decided to, and stuff like that. This country that has a strong historical tie with the US sits at spot number 4 when it comes to countries in the world that has the highest rejection rate, visa rejection rate. Liberia sits at spot number 4.
Oh.
And you want to go to the percentage? Over 70% of the people who go to the embassy for visa or whatever, they get denied. And this is something that is concerning, Peter.
Yeah.
Because some of the people, listen, some of the people, when they leave from that embassy, especially after they've been denied, they will collapse. They will come down with stroke. Some of the people will credit just to get the visa money. Some of the people will win DV. And that's why this conversation is very important. Some of the people will win DV. They will credit thousands of dollars just to do their processing. Some of the young men will have access to scholarship and, some international admission, spend thousands of dollars, and they get denied at the embassy. And you can't question it. And that's why the other side of the argument has been that, look, you can't question this thing. I mean, the authorities there have the right to decide who goes to their country. But the ambassador today spoke plain and clear English when he said the main reason is when Liberians go, they don't come back. Most of the people who go, they don't just come back. Over 50% of them, they don't come back. I mean, what do you make of this, Bila? Let's start the conversation from here. Do you think a country like Liberia, given her historical ties with the US, should be at spot number 4 when it comes to countries that have the highest visa rejection rate in the world, not West Africa, in the world? Spot number 4. That's where Liberia sits.
Nothing. Here's the thing. This country called the United States of America, believe that they always like people who maintain church. I want to take the conversation from another angle.
Yeah.
For typical example, Nazin, if I have to give you an opportunity to travel to the United States, or the American give you the opportunity to travel to the United States for a time frame, and you're
Mhm.
not respecting that term, then definitely they don't have to trust you further. So I just see it like it based around certain trust. Because when a country like the United States of America give you that level of trust, you have to maintain the trust to get further trust moving forward. So here's the thing that a lot of us we come in a country, we come with the belief that we come to spend certain time pay our visa. And
Mhm.
it will shock you to know that some people will overstay with even that visa but not maintaining any further legal status. Because when you going above your state time in a country, that meaning you unlawfully you being in a country. If you don't seek any further legal remedy to maintaining your status, then definitely you're not in conformity with law. You're not in good standing with the law of being in that country.
But
So
Peter,
what the thing yeah, I know that
eh,
they'll yeah, come in.
is there anything we need to do differently? I mean, is there any reason for someone to think that a country like Liberia, given her historical ties,
Mhm.
should have some preferential treatment?
So yeah, is the thing. It is not about what kind of a relationship America has with you. It is about
Mhm.
respecting their law in order to you got an immigration lawyer.
Mhm.
You got a law that guide each and every citizen, even people who are born here. They got a law that guide in terms of being in line with their immigration law. So it doesn't matter where you're from or what kind of a relationship your country has with them. So if you want to be in good standing with America, one of the things they primarily prioritize is respecting their law, respecting their rules and regulations. There are common law in this country when you broke, like a traffic and other business law. But sometimes it put you some problem that you sit to tell your children that these are things that are experienced when are distance and so things. What about staying in the country over time at certain level, right? So it is about maintaining that trust and confidence that they have imposed in you. Like I want to give you a very short story. Right? I know one of my brother currently in the army. That brother have come for countless studied in the United States because the reason they always grant him visa because he maintained his stays in America. He leaves time so his the time he should be leaving the country. So that gave him more edge. Like anytime he apply and wanted to come to the
Peter,
United
are
States
you
to do some
saying?
business telling, they
Mhm.
grant him quickly. So one thing I look at, one of the reasons is people not maintaining the trust and confidence that the American government imposing it because when you come in on certain visa in the country, brother, and it has time limit, you have to show to the people that yes, I want to maintain this and to get further opportunity. But if you're not doing that and further staying in the country without, like I said, seeking remedy to your stay legally, then it brings a problem to everyone. That they can always say one apple spoil the whole tree. That's just a common saying right there.
Okay, I want us to take a look at this issue from this angle. Um, Everything that's happening now, especially with what the ambassador said, it falls on the country. It falls on the image of the country. Directly or indirectly, or whichever way you want to put it, it affects every citizen of the country. Now, is there anything that the government, for example, the Liberian government, the government under President Joseph Yuma Boakai, can do to address this situation? Or should we just say that this is something that rests 100% on the shoulders of the citizens? Is there any way possible that the government of Liberia can come into this? Is there any
Yes.
intervention the Liberian government can make now that the ambassador has spoken out? He have given the reason why most Liberians get denied at the embassy. Is there anything the current government can do? What do you think?
What I think here is the government should, because mostly you want to bear witness with me that people travel on government official travel and sometimes come to the
Mm.
United States and stay and don't go back. There are a lot of people in this United States that you see they have similar case. So what I think the government can do in relation to wanting to carry some intervention, because in diplomacy, obviously America will want to need something from you in the future. If you have on the average, like you said, we are on the being on the list, we are fourth. That's too much. That's somehow. And that the percentage the ambassador talk about, because I didn't actually listen to you or follow that conversation. 70% is too high. For a country that Liberia should be rejected, 70% at the percentage of 70 that we are coming to their country and not returning back. And that makes that most of our people who apply for visa and other business for business things, the scholarship and other stuff being rejected. The government has to know that they have their part to play, because obviously you can bear with it that people in this country they don't they don't have that legal status that they should have, and they keep on government stuff. So the government can find a remedy to making ensuring that when people come on these traveling, they have to return back. Not on the basis of coming on
But
that
how
traveling.
can the government, how can the
Yeah,
Liberian government, be that? How can the Liberian government ensure that people go back?
it is to
What level of intervention you think the Liberian government can make in that light?
it is to know who you bringing. What's the responsibility of them? Not just taking anybody from a country like Liberia that is struggling.
Bida, I hope we're getting this thing.
Who's that?
This thing is not just about those going on official trips. This thing is not just about maybe the president selecting people to go to the UNGA, for example. No, it's about the average Liberian going to the US, the average Liberian seeking visa to go to the US for different purposes. All right. So, okay. So you may say that, listen,
But
based on what the
listen,
ambassador have said,
yeah.
okay, let's look at it this way. Maybe Liberia, the Liberian government should be making intervention now, selecting who to go on those official trips and stuff like that. Yeah, that could be one aspect. But what happens to official trip is just a drop in the ocean, talking about the number of people who will go to the US embassy for visa on a regular basis. Francis,
So
welcome to the show.
so that's just one aspect I was explaining, right? Like I said,
Yeah.
that's one factor of why is the Liberians being rejected on the average. Like you talk about a percent or 70% is too much,
Yeah,
right?
the embassy.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's one aspect. Another aspect is those who the American government has entrusted you with that confidence that come and study in this country. And after you study, there are many ways you can find a legal means or legal status in this country. Especially when you come maybe to scholarship or other business things. There are many ways you can do it and get a legal status. If you want to further stay in the country, is to find that remedy, but not to stay with having any legal status, no other case that you had, but you just in the people country. That, like I said, in the common Liberian way, they said one apple spot the whole tree, you will further being stopping other people from getting the kind of opportunity that they are to have. Because on the average, we at the American ambassador statistic that he gave, on the average, I know you take up 10 to 20% who will apply for scholarship, they will be rejected. Like you will see only 5% be accepted. That's appalling. And like you said, the long state relationship that we have had with America, for people to be rejected like that, there must be something. And the American ambassador talked about it. We need to find a serious solution to it, to further not see the kind of average of rejection that we're seeing, the percentage of rejection that we're seeing. I mean, right?
and
So
and and
yeah,
and, and, the question will keep being, what can we do? What can a country like Liberia do? And I get it, Bila, when you talk about um you know the need for people to go back. But is it something easy? Do we need the government of Liberia or the president to release an executive order and establish one war and economic crisis. No. A movement against overstay in the U.S., some kind of movement or stuff like that. Do we see any solution around this issue here?
So one
Is there a
one
way
thing,
we can redeem the image of the country called Liberia? Look,
Nelson,
I'm going to come back to you, Bida.
yeah, one
But
thing
let's take
quickly before you
Francis.
go to Francis, right? One thing I
Mhm.
think the government can do in the diplomatic sectors or setting, it is to further have conversation with the American government. Since, I mean, logically, the American government can have parole and consider some people some legal status in that country. That is in their purview. The Liberian government can do that as well to further give legal status to those in that category, especially when you spend certain amount of year. I think the American government need to be reasonable because obviously you will not erase the fact of immigrant impact on America, what they have done in the economy, what they have done everywhere when it comes to being in conformity with their economic growing.
Look,
That's not something you can erase.
I
Immigrant
want to
has
hold
a
you there a
lot of
bit.
part to play on that. So the
Let's
Liberian government can have further conversation to to have some consideration on those who here and further
thank
put
you.
some measure in place as to how people come into that country and how they go out there.
Thanks a lot, Bila. Francis, let's hear your take on this issue. I guess you've been following the conversation. The U.S. ambassador today on the local radio said that, look, the rejection rate in Liberia stays at 78%. Liberia is one of the countries, that stays at the fourth place, talking about the countries with high rejection rate and stuff like that. And the reason for that is because a lot of people who go for visas at the U.S. embassy, they overstay. They're not sincere. This is having, um, a hit or whatever on the image of the country, and even some people who they want to go for very important purposes, and stuff like that. What do you think can be done in this case? Do you think, in the first place, for instance, that a country like Liberia, given our historical connection with the US, should be having such a high rejection rate, and giving everything that is required to process your documents, to get everything ready, to go to the US embassy, given the Liberian economy and everything that some Liberians will have to go through.
Nelson, first, good morning to our folks in Liberia. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's good to be here. One simple answer to that before I even expand on it is Liberia should start being a liability and be an asset. We are a liability. That's why we are treated this way. It's not just Liberia, but someone speaking about Liberia, let's talk about it. Growing up, I heard that, it was not easy. I mean, it was very easy for Liberians to come to the U.S. prior to the Civil War. And a lot of Liberians are not even traveling to the States like that. Even when they come, they don't stay long because the country was not bad. But due to the Civil War and the economic downturn in the country, and our criminals leaders that are making the country so unbearable for the people, when the people leave the country, I'm not excusing their actions. They don't want to go back because I'd rather be a beggar in the U.S. than to be living in Liberia. So that's the problem right now. Look at what happened in the war in Ukraine. You think the Ukrainians are worried about coming to the U.S. and overstaying visa? No. First of all, they are giving status. They are giving incentives. They are giving government assistance to come to the U.S. Why? Because Ukraine, as a country, is not a liability. Right now they get they're getting support from the U.S. to fight in their fight against Russia. But Ukrainians come to the U.S. just like that and start to live a better quality of life. They don't miss a beat from the lifestyle they were living in that country. Because Ukraine as a country is not a liability. Ukraine is one of the world, I think, largest producer of wheat.
But come on, Francis.
Ukraine is a liability.
Can we compare Ukraine and Liberia here?
But no, I'm just saying something that the fact that refugees from Ukraine, it's just easy for them to just run to the U.S. Why the U.S. can say, okay, sit in some country next to Ukraine, like they did Liberians during the Civil War, and say, go to Guinea, go to Ghana, and they send UNICEF and all the other people there to help. But no, Ukrainians get on a plane and come to the U.S. and get assistance from the government and things like that. Because the country as a whole is not a liability, but our country is a liability. That's why these people, when our folks leave Liberia and come to the U.S., they do not want to go back. I'm not excusing that because nobody have the right to be in the U.S. illegally. No, the country is a country of law, and immigrants. And the country is the superpower in the way it is today because of immigrants, right? Immigration. The immigration policy is the strength of this country. But the people are selective. They don't just say, "Oh, anybody come." Anybody can come, but you should be adding to the economy. Liberia is a joke because of what our leaders are doing in that country. They don't do anything to put our
for
people
instance,
in a position.
I see you trying to drag the leaders into this thing, and I know on a regular basis we'll come here, we'll critique the national leaders, we'll beat on them, but this is something that has gotten to a point where the image of the country is involved. For instance, is there any intervention the leadership of the country can make in this case? Is there any intervention maybe President Bouaka can make in this case?
No, let me ask you the question. What is he going to do? What is he going to give the U.S. for keeping all his illegal citizens in the U.S.? What is he giving them? What? And that lady went and gave that July 4th speech. You see, Liberia, we are swayed by words, not by action. She spoke big words. Oh, and the U.S. benefit more from Liberia, Liberia benefit from the U.S. And Liberia people ran with that nonsense. Every still started to see nonsense when you thought you were acting like a big man in the Senate when they passed the resolution for the World Economic Crime Court saying, "Oh, Liberia benefit more." All that big words. What is the U.S. benefiting from Liberia? You think the U.S. are really benefiting from Liberia compared to other countries? It will be difficult. I just said the thing in the beginning of my segment. Before the war, most people were not even leaving Liberia coming to the U.S. When they come, they don't even stay long. It was not a problem for people to travel from Liberia here. But now, our people are suffering. Our people are slaves in their own country. So when they get an opportunity to leave, more than half of them don't even want to go back. They'd rather be beggars here or sleep on their family member floors for months and years than to go back to Liberia. Why do you think that is? They say don't drag the national government leaders into it. The people taking a huge, exorbitant amount of money, driving big cars, living in the best house, they're paying cooks for them. All the children traveling out of the country while the average Liberian is suffering. You think when they win DV, they're able to come to the US, not even DV, because DV has that legal status, but you think they're able to come on even Pankana League or Mawa League to the US. You think they want to go back?
Thanks a lot, Francis. Let's take Raymond a bit on this conversation. Raymond, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on. Let's hear your take on this issue.
Thank you, and greetings to everyone, including Francis, Soiree, and all the audience. Yeah, Nelson, it's an issue of concern. But let me begin with international relationships. Liberia is very strategic partner to the U.S. The United States officials never make any remark without emphasizing that phrase, that Liberia is a strategic and a long-standing partner to the U.S. So Liberia stand to add value to the United States.
I'm sorry, Raymond. What you just said is like saying people are respect but sit down on the ground.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. America is the greatest country in the world because of her strategic diplomatic partnership. If America lost her diplomatic partnership with the nations like Liberia, America will not be the greatest nation in the world. Relationship benefits both ways. Even when it comes to natural resources, for America to be able to produce all the kinds they produce, America needs natural resources from other places, including the iPhone that America have. That adds a lot to the value of America. iPhone is sold in other countries. The material to build iPhone, America don't have it. So when we're looking at relationship amongst countries, they look at it from that perspective. America is the greatest country in the world because of countries like Liberia. America influence in the world to be the world leader. That the president of America is the president of the world. That's because of Liberia. We always vote with the United States. America have our support. America power, military power in the world, is because of countries like Liberia that can allow America to be present in their territorial confines and have that kind of influence. It gives America strength, strategic strength. We support America homeland security in ways that America can defend herself away from her shores, track terrorist activities other places. So sometimes when we're looking at things, let's understand our values too. When you say yourself in a teacup, then you nobody, you got no values. But that's not just all. I just wanted to, add to that Liberia is a very strategic partner to America. America wanted to have the biggest base in West Africa in Liberia. That was her proposal. If it didn't mean nothing to America, America wouldn't have proposed that to us before. So, I just want to say some of those things. Firestone plantation have helped America greatly in becoming an industrial country. She needed that. Liberia made it available to her. That when you add dollar value to that, that's priceless. But let me come to the main talking point, the issue of Liberians leaving Liberia and do not want to go back. Nelson, it bogs down to the economic situation. If you want to look at why it would be, look at a remittance from the US to Liberia. Liberians in the US, how much money they have to send back home. It tells you the economic challenge back home. And Francis had it right when he said, prior to today, Liberians never wanted to come here. I know many Liberians who came here on DV and other status and wanted to go back home. Consider how many Liberians who have status in the US would rather go back and work in their government. As much as America have an opportunity for a lot of Liberians, there are other challenges Liberians face here that are unique to America they wouldn't face back home. Francis is an example. Soiree. Soiree would tell you there are much as economic challenge that was there. There were other things that were, he could do with ease, the restriction and other things. Just take an example. How much you would pay for an apartment in Liberia. If you pay $250 for an apartment, that's a nice apartment. But if you pay $1,000 for an apartment in America, that's average. That's average. So consider if you are paid up to $3,000 in Liberia, the likelihood of you leaving Liberia and come and live in America is very slim. Even if you're making $1,005 United States dollar monthly in Liberia, to leave Liberia and come and live here, because you're coming to meet a total brand new challenge. But the circumstances in Liberia, especially corruption, that falls on the shoulders of our leaders. You are asking, Francis, why do you want to put it on our leaders? The bus stop with them. They are responsible for the economic situation in our country. When Liberians never wanted to travel before, they were content with their economic situation. Liberia wasn't one of the beautiful countries in the world in terms of infrastructure. We didn't have all of the basic services that other people have. But the way we live our life and the lifestyle we live, like the last time I was watching a documentary on Madagascar, you are asking them, there are a few of them who are here in the US. Why do a lot of you, they say our lifestyle is better. The people in the US are all about materialism. For us, we are about quality living. They have all the material things, but their quality of life, they're so stressed up going to work. Everything has to be in a hurry. For us, we have family time. We have leisure. Americans can only afford that when they go on vacation. So I don't need a wealth that a guy in America, but I have my style of living, which is much more valuable to me. So it was like that with Liberians. Liberia didn't have all the wealth in the world, but I live in that Liberian environment, the family relationship, and all the kind of things, and the ease to doing certain things. But currently, those things are not available. That's not the reality. So Liberians will rather come, people who have degrees will come here, put their degrees aside and do all jobs. Why? They're able to feed their children. They're able to cater to their kids. Sometimes they don't want to be here. Honestly, if you do a survey and ask the average Liberian if the living condition is improved back home, where you can live, the kind of living that you did once ago or that, a lot of Liberians will go back home. So the buck stopped with our leaders. They have to improve the living condition back home. They have to stop corruption. All of the money that you imagine the past regime.
Okay. So Raymond, let's pull it this way. Let's pull it. Let's look at it this way. If the point that Francis raised earlier,
Mhm,
which you're trying to reinforce,
mhm,
talking about bad governance, bad leadership that is resulting to the situation we have in now, harsh economic situation in the country. Most Liberians find it difficult to succeed here, and that has resulted to what the U.S. government now is having problem with, denying so many Liberians. Some of those people who have very important reasons of going to the states and sincere enough wanting to come back, but they'll be denied. Then if that is something to take into consideration, Raymond, then where do we start to address this issue from? Instead of the U.S. embassy denying those ordinary Liberians, are you saying that since the officials of government are the real issue, the real problems of the country, that the U.S. government should rather start to deny those people rather than the citizens who are feeling the pinch of the very maybe economic situation that has been created by the leaders?
But Nelson, that's how it started. Why you think the United States government got a sanction travel embargo on our leaders? These are leaders who the very thing that I stress, corruption. Those who phone with their hands in the cookie jar that the United States government have evidence about, the United States government have restricted them. So yes, what you ask about, the United States government have instituted that. But more beyond that, Nelson, is the truth of the matter. The American government, you look in America here, Francis would tell you everything these people do here is based on data, statistics. How many person, what category of people? A lot of people who are unemployed, who don't have a lot of things going off back home for them. When they come here, the tendency of them going back home is slim because they can go here and get a job easily. But back home, they were there for 3 years, 5 years. College graduate, they don't have a job. And Francis struck another thing, right? America would prefer other people from other countries to come because they can come here with high skills and their ability to influence the labor market in a lot of other ways that the labor market needs are available for them. But a lot of Liberians who come here talking about the education quality, at what level can they compete? At what level can they? So all of those things. But let me mention this before. You know how many nations in the world have made it visa free for Liberia today, and some of them keep cutting off because of what happening. There were many other foreign nationals who will come in Liberia, live there for a while just to get the Liberian passport, so they could have access to these countries.
You think you think this passport issue, because I saw a few of the comments as well. A few of our folks have been raising that issue in the comment section, talking about the Liberian passport being in the hands of people, individuals who are not Liberians. Like, take for example, Good Work. I don't know if it's his real name or a brand account. He said that one of the reasons is your country passport is in the hands of non-citizens. Now,
And
this non-citizen thing is something that we've gone on over and over and again. Andrew Wemplo, that's his name, yeah. Andrew Wemplo, and a few others were caught in this whole passport saga. And again, the U.S. government was very instrumental in making sure that this cartel is brought to light, and they took some actions, travel restriction on Wemplo and his family and stuff like that. But this is where we are. Did it start with the? Did it start at the time when the foreign ministry had this whole passport cartel and stuff like that?
so
And I would say
Nelson,
no, because
no,
Liberians were getting denied in very good numbers even before then. So if we
so
are talking
no,
about corruption, when did Liberia start to encounter or experience corruption?
so Nelson.
You go back to no, I'm coming, Raymond. You're gonna come in. You go back to post pre-war Liberia. At that time, a lot of the folks who were, the guys who always say doing Raymond in time, you know, People, Liberians, will go to the embassy. They will decide when they want to go to the US, when they want to travel and stuff like that. Once you have, there wasn't that much of situation with visa restriction and stuff like that, or rejection. Sorry, but it was during this time when 13 men were placed on the pole and they were killed because of corruption, quote unquote. And this is where we are so many years after, over 20, 30 years after, we're coming back to this same corruption story, and we want to link it to visa restriction or visa rejection for Liberians. I want you to conclude, Raymond, then we're going to give
So
30
Nelson,
seconds
with
to
all that you
Francis and
just
then
said,
George.
because of the prolonged corruption in our country, the lack of accountability, all of our national wealth, to include the iron ore money, the logging money, the gold and diamond money, the fishery money, the Liberian people, it can't impact their life. Our electricity capacity in our country could be compared to none. Roads compared to none. So Nelson, when you all the things that you're talking about that you don't want to consider, see the living standard of a Liberian person in our country compared to which country in the world. Infrastructure wise, which country you can compare it today in our today reality. So all those things, it didn't start today. But to what extent the decline came this much that the United States government had to have a policy change towards Liberia. That's what we're talking about. But corruption has been there. But let me let you know, Nelson, there's a cause and effect. And it adds up. So at a certain time, it become into a red zone. It could start from a moderate. And it keeps growing until it becomes very emergency. So currently, the situation is one of an emergency in Liberia, where almost you gave us a statistic about 70% do not return. That's alarming. Now, see, and I want to believe if you do the check, it have never been like that. But because of the effect of corruption, has keep growing, and currently it's in an alarming state. And talking about the passport, I wanted to go there. There are too many criminals using our passport today. Whatever crimes they commit in the country, because the official document that you go to the country and announce yourself as who is your passport. So the categorize us as Liberian. I was talking about data. So in that database, if this is the issue with Liberians, they're going to come up with a policy to address that.
Thank you,
And this
Raymond.
is the
Thank you.
situation we face with.
I want to hold you there. Let's give Francis 30 seconds, and I'm going to bring Josh in. Okay, so let's have Josh come in.
Yeah, Nelson. I just wanted to touch on the thing, Raymond, and everybody keep talking about this strategic importance Liberia is to the US. Let me tell you one thing. I need to stop that thing. That's the reason why we where we are today. First of all, when you know who the bank gave money to, the bank gave money to wealthy people. Because wealthy people will turn that money and keep giving them interest. The bank don't run with that money to give it to broke people. In a country, you apply for a credit card or loan, if your credit is bad, don't give you money. But your credit score is good. Every day, letter coming to your house. Oh, you have $10,000 credit card here, or take it. After 3 months, if you pay a bill on time, we'll increase it to 50,000. All they want it. I say this to say, this strategic importance that I keep talking about that was suffering Liberia today. The countries are very important to the US. They don't have to talk about it. Look at anyone can be complaining about Mexico and right across the border here. But you know how important Mexico is when it comes to agriculture in this country? That's why they will play football, Republican and Democrat play football with this whole immigration thing, illegal immigrant crossing the border, blah, 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 blah. But they will give those people one visa in a heartbeat to come to the US to work the farms and grow the peppers, the onions, and all that stuff to grow it. What is Liberia importance? Y'all keep stressing that thing. Give us the evidence. Y'all go back to World War II and Money Bottle days. They want to build a bigger base in West Africa, in Liberia. Or they will make a tower fire soon, a private company, not US company. They keep bringing all the things up. Where is the strategic importance that I keep putting Liberia? I'm suffering today. Our people, they don't think outside the box to blame our leader. They say, oh, we're important to America. If you are important, the bank, that's why the bank send letters to people. They don't go ask people the bank for money. The bank send them letters. They can't take my money. But you that broke, you go to the bank, they don't give you money. They say you're not a good creditor. You're a bad debt. You're a bad investment. So Liberia is a bad investment. Ukraine
Thank
is
you.
a good investment. Why they can go and say, oh, Ukraine, water, come. We give you food stamp, we give you housing, we give you all this stuff. The strategy is important. Why we can't get the same thing? We're not that important. Let's stop saying it here. Our
So
leaders should
Nelson,
start feeding the poor country, should start insulting our people in Liberia, should start enslaving our people in Liberia, while our people start to enjoy their country and don't want to leave. Trust me, that's when they'll start sending visa to Liberia and say, you're taking a cherry chop.
Nelson,
Okay,
when
thank
you,
you. Thank you, Francis.
when George finished,
yeah,
I beg you to give me a few
yeah.
minutes to
So
respond to Francis.
we want to look at the president's speech upon his return. That's something we will be moving to next. But George, you want to weigh in your thoughts on this? We give Raymond just 30 seconds, and then we're going to transition.
All right, look, thank you, Nelson. And look, I want to thank everyone here on the show and our listeners. Look, there's always the reason why I hate and I like Francis. The problem is that Francis can be straight to the point. Even when he's against me, he can be straight to the point. You know what I mean? That's why I hate for him to go against me. And also, I hate for him to come to be right. You know, that's the thing. But we can always leave the elephant in the room and approach something else. We used to say our problem was presidency. The president is the problem. That why people not investing. The president, that why they didn't give people visa.
No, George, you want to bring the 2017 election. George, when will you get over this thing that CDC was defeated?
I will never get over it, because these people misled our people. But here's the thing, Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is that
Still on his arm.
no, it's not a problem. You know, the good thing is that personally, it doesn't affect me, right? But I feel sorry for our people and for my country as well, because I mean that's the only place I cannot be deported from. But here's the reason why we are an issue. Let me tell you, I came to this country as a student, international student to Australia. I came here for them to give me visa to come here as a student. I took the English test. But other people from other countries can't take that English test. Our educational system is poor in Liberia. So for them to even give you visa to come and study here, my brother, that war. Students can come from Nigeria all the time. How they call the other countries where they have sanction on, man, I forget it. Zimbabwe, they plenty here. But to get Liberians person visa for school, the test you will take, the days you will do, the qualification, the criteria, it will be too high until most time people will not want to come here. That's the thing. Because simple reason, our education system is not up to par. Because when students come from Liberia, come here, they can fail until they can sit down. They can find different things to do to get visa to stay here. That's our problem. Our problem is not just presidency or anything. Our problem is ourselves. If we learn to improve our services, our delivery, system, and even be known for something. Nigerians are known for scamming. What are we known for?
Come on, George. That view is your view. It doesn't represent the view of the late night show. It doesn't represent the Spoon Network. You have to make that disclaimer, because I know they are good Nigerians as much as they are bad Nigerians.
And that's thing I understand. There are always, good people in every country, but people let be known for something else. If we can roll off our sleeves, with everybody not doing political science or management, if we are studying technology and science, and we want to improve into that area, let me tell you, if you go to a place like Zimbabwe, right? Most people study nursing. Most people study nursing, and because of that, they bring nurses here all the time. These guys come here on visa every time to come and work and go back home. But where are we, Nelson? That's what we need to think about. So look, let me just leave it as that, because I got so much in me that I want to explore on. But I will leave it at that, and I'll push it back to you, Nelson. Thank you,
George. You're right. I just ran into one Sierra Leonean, right?
The
Doctor doing his residency in the U.S. and he went back next month to Sierra Leone. The main
thank you, Francis. And guys, we have to transition now. The president came back to the country.
You say you are going to give me 30 minutes, bro.
Oh, okay. I thought you forgot.
I host you now. Tell me, bro.
So take your 30 seconds.
And the truth of the matter is, we can say whatever we want to say. All of us sitting here on this platform now in Liberia is a reflection of how we got U.S. status or not, the fact that we're here, the proportionality of Liberians who had the same opportunities and didn't take advantage of it, speak to the same factor. Why? And Francis would like to point on one thing and leave the other thing. The banks do not gonna work with people who can give credit and loan. The thing they call raw material today, the developed nation needed more than anything. It's like gold. Liberia has it. The thing we have, we are not managing it. And some of us say everything that is a part and parcel of our problem today. But when we act like Liberia only need the US and the US don't need Liberia, that's not true. That's not true. The US need us as much as we need them. And I gave you multiple reasons, but you would choose to listen to what you want to listen to and reject what you want to listen to. In the United Nations, the United States being the world leader today is because she have allies. Liberia is America's ally. Faithfully been supporting America in the United Nations with all her votes.
So, Raymond, are you saying that Liberia doesn't deserve the high rejection, visa rejection?
No,
rate?
that's not what I'm saying. But when we're doing that, as much as we do that, we have to be honest in the discourse.
Okay, so you are saying that Liberia deserves the high visa rejection rate, right?
Nelson, why would you tell another sovereign country that you have a bilateral relationship with that you're not following the guidelines that our country set for your citizens to behave in our country? And if Liberian breaking those rules, coming on different thing and staying, that's America's prerogative to address it. That's not Liberia's prerogative to tell America
Thank you
how
very much,
we can
Raymond.
address it.
Thanks a
But
lot.
my point, what I'm
Guys,
raising,
guys, we
irrespective.
want to transition.
Nelson, let me get in my
Just go
statement.
on answer too.
You have answered it multiple times, my brother. I say you won't dominate the conversation.
No, not you.
No, but you gotta stand that is partial. The relationship between two countries are both ways. Like they say, relationship is a two-way street. Everywhere in the world, relationships are two-way street. Why you think China that never had a bilateral relationship with Liberia the way she is? Why you think China in our backyard? Why you think other countries that Russia wants? If America step away from Liberia, other countries will come and build a relationship with Liberia. That's one thing you need to understand, Francis. And America being the world leader today is based on bilateral relationship she has with allies. America allies got America the strongest country in the world. We can have this discussion and try to these fights. If other countries have those same allies America have, they will be greater than America. It was Great Britain before. As small as Great Britain was, she was the most powerful nation in the world. Today, who is the most powerful nation is America. America needs to trade and have relationships with countries to remain the stronger country and have our influence.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Gave that to America.
Raymond, I want to hold you there.
Free range should just spew information on the show.
And all of this information and the hate for your own
guys, as much as we all have disagreements on the show, as much as we all have disagreements on the show, I think
you allow Raymond to dominate the show. You
dominated the show. You talk twice.
Look,
I talk the same time.
Raymond is not dominating the show.
Your emotions.
As we do here, I mean, we're always giving time out to everyone. I mean, Raymond has.
Somebody line.
Okay, thank you guys. Let's transition. Let's
rescue people made for us. We're waiting for them.
Okay, so Francis, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this, Francis.
Ask Francis, go read a CIA report book and see the strategic relationship we got with Liberia.
Raymond, like I said, when you talk about strategic relationship, they may still talking. He's not dominating the show. He can't start for somebody else to talk.
Talking your emotions.
No, but you can't start for somebody else to talk. Asaya, let's know you give us 2 minutes.
You talk twice, Francis. All the time you talk, you think you are not talking?
They may want to talk about Liberia got gold that America won. How you got so many valuable? That means you don't even respect yourself. You got so many valuable that people want, right? People want. Then you say, Raymond, stop now. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to yeah, man. You want to talk about Liberia, America need Liberia, just like Liberia need America. That's the first thing that should blow our mind. That should blow anybody's mind. They should even, if you are listening to Raymond on the phone, you hang up the phone. You turn your TV off when he made that statement. Are you serious? America need Liberia, just like Liberia need America? You know how much all the resources Liberia got in this country? You know how many countries around the world have those resources that America is pumping more money into and getting those resources? But if we can get America to get a penny on the dollar in Liberia because our people are so useless over there, making our schooling so cheap.
Thank you.
Look at Pasu today paying 50 cents on the dollar
You
for
thought-
8 of land in Liberia.
Francis,
50 cents.
wanna hold
No,
you
for instance,
guys.
I mean,
Guys,
let's say
let's
that
do
man
this.
is
Let's
insulting
do
his
this.
own country
Let's
because
do
American
this,
before
guys.
you became an
I
American,
can
you are a
understand.
Liberian
I
first.
can understand
Stop
we
And
were
you
all
can't even
behind.
understand where you are.
But put
For
this
instance,
woman in the back.
What you
That
do
girl
is not,
feel the
it's not good for the country. Call a spade. Don't call it a
Nelson, just
peonary.
give me 30 seconds, please.
No,
Nelson,
we're
please
not
give me
giving
30
30
seconds.
seconds. Guys, we have to make a transition now. Let's
one
because
more
you
30
allow
seconds.
Francis to spew a lot
Let's
of
do this.
falsehood
Let's
right
do
now.
this.
Unknowledgeable information about Francis being
On
given. right now.
the Israeli war. But yes, the Israeli war there, but we were turning all around the points, things that are affecting not just Liberia. And we thank God for that. The speech there is 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they start cutting you off. But I don't know how we managed. I think for just 15 minutes, they didn't cut us off and watch. And again, part of it also is to boost the private sector. No matter what we do in this country, the government cannot absorb. If the government employ everybody, then there won't be a country. Who will pay it? Where the money will come from? That's why we go around appealing to people. I don't care where you feel like, what side you own, this country is in trouble. For the last couple of years, there have been no investment, but there are people who have not worked. Some of them are in offices, they're not working. And the pride of it is not just to even give you money, but to work. You go to school to learn so you can use the education. There's no opportunity to do it. Of course, when people tell you sit here and we give $5 every month, you'll be happy. But it doesn't bring you up. What did you go to school for? And those are things that we're moving around to do. So we're able to talk with the private sector. And besides that, at the United Nations, we inform them about the progress we are making. It might be slow. You will not see it, but things are improving.
It might be slow. Guys, it might be slow. Very, very slow. You may not see it, but things are improving. Those were the words of the president upon his return from the UNGA. The president spoke for close to 30 minutes, emphasizing and reinforcing those very important issues, the different positions he had, what he took from the UNGA, how he was able to make Liberia's case at the UNGA, the reason why Liberia is the way it is, how for a very long time, huge investments have not really come to the country. The Liberia has been way behind, but he's making all the different travels because he's making the case for the country, and that the people, the president said he's very optimistic that Liberia as a country is going to make progress. That the people who have been opportune to serve in public, to enter public service, don't be concerned about the salaries, but be concerned about how much of an impact you are making as an individual, as a director, as a minister, assistant minister, or whoever. Be more concerned about the impact you are making. Let's start the conversation from here. And I want to hear from you, Francis, and we're going to go around the table.
Nelson, the president is trying to paint a picture, He said some underlying truth over there. The country is in trouble. The country is in trouble. If the government decide to employ everybody, then how will the country make money? But he didn't say much as to anything that has to do with a rest plan. He didn't say much. There's not much in there. I mean, I know you didn't play the whole 30 minutes, but first of all, if something's going to change, you can see the steps involved from the last administration to now. Look, most of their officials, top officials, are recycled from administration to administration, from administration to administration. It's like you are a coach, and you bring and this team you got today is Fisi. The season finish. The next season I come, you take a different coach and bring a same Fisi team. It will not get better. The old people there, like Grimsby there, all the old people there, somebody can serve as consultant or advisor, but bring young brain, fresh brain, people from this generation that have constructed jealousy, that have traveled the world and seen other countries, how they got developed, and how they constructed jealousy and want to do the same in their country. But you take the same Grimsby there for any time. They do nothing there. Then you bring them here now. What change are they going to bring to the country? You creating, all we know how to do in Liberia. You say the government should be the biggest employer, but we're quick to create new entities. New entities. And all the new entities have heads. All the heads get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. For what thing? So there's no change, nothing different going on. We can talk all we want. You can fly all over the world. The change that Liberia has to start from Liberia. And the drastic action that he's now willing to take, or none of our past leaders have been in recent time after post-war Liberia has been willing to take, is the salary in that country. And they need to condense the government, reduce the amount of government agencies that we have over there, and reduce the salary. You can generate millions of dollars just from the budget if you cut salaries. But I'm not supposed to say, oh, we can't talk about the money all the time. But it is what it is. You can be the poorest, one of the poorest countries in the world, but your officials, the top officials, making more money than some of the top countries in the world.
Francis,
go back.
Just before moving over to Josh, what do you think? With everything the president outlined, did the president really make the case for Liberia? Do you really see? Do you really see that wave of change, that wave of a new dawn, blowing very soon in Liberia's direction?
Let me tell you something, Nelson.
Is the change we've long anticipated anywhere close to us?
Let me tell you something. Even the agriculture minister were on Spoon Talk today talking about, I know China get $10 million. Anything that kind of Liberia that take place. Anything that kind of Liberia from that take place. Because if I'm the international community, you come to beg me for my taxpayer hard-earned money. I'm gonna ask my lawmaker to give you millions of dollars when you're making more money than my lawmakers. They're paying for your cooks, they buy you car every year. They're gonna take my taxpayer hard-earned money and give it to you. Are you serious? What kind of serious country will do that? First of all, if they didn't decide to put a foot and say, you know what, I'm not signing no budget into law until we agree that no more car for people going forward, and then we reduce it, no more gas slip, none of that stuff, and I'm not signing if you can take it from there and you reduce your pay. The lawmakers don't want to do it. He go directly to the Liberian people. Then the international community will see when the country starts suffering, they say, but what's going on in Liberia? Oh, the president has decided to do the right thing, has decided to cut wasteful spending, and the legislatures are the problem. That's when they will see that Liberia is better. But no, tomorrow you create another entity, and those hands will get paid $15,000. Then the other one will get paid $10,000. Then you go to America and say, give me money with pool. That thing makes sense to you?
Thank you. Thank you. Josh, let's say your take on this issue.
Thank you, Nelson. And I know that I will get backlash again about this. But guess what? The first thing I heard from the president, he was happy because he broke the rule at the United Nations and he felt it was a miracle. They can only give 15 minutes. But I don't know what happened there. What happened? You see, that miracle he explained to the people, I thought for money that let a guy who I met Abidjan who
Look,
were
look,
looking at
look, look,
were looking at
look,
people's houses,
man.
were looking at people's houses.
Listen, George. These are just the trivialities around the
But
entire
Nelson,
issue.
let me go ahead, please. Let me go ahead, please.
You
The
know,
thing is that
yeah. Mhm.
this guy was looking at people's houses, and someone stopped him and said, "Do you know that it can cost you to look up each house here? It costs you to look at it. It costs you $5." The man said, "Oh, so how many houses you look at?" The man said, "I only look at 5." So the man said, "Okay, that $5 each house." So he paid the man $25, right? He went home, he started boasting. He said, "Huh, I used a minute today. I look at only 10 houses, I only pay for 5." The man said, "What they say they can pay for a house to look at house you didn't have here?" So that I see that having the work. He was so happy that he broke the rule, and which were looking at us unfavorably, that we can't follow law, we can't follow rule in our country. Even our president could not follow the common rule that on that thing there. But he was boasting about it. He went back to Liberia and with that clapping, clap, 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 clap. Where is our brain, my people? And that's the thing, Nelson. It hurts me so sometimes when I see our people behave in a way that is so demeaning to us. Why will you clap for a guy who just broke the law or broke the rule? But we're happy
But Josh, when did breaking laws become a thing in the country? Josh.
Nelson,
Anyway.
the most unsophisticated president George Manuel Weah, who was unsophisticated, he didn't know anything. He never broke that law. He never broke that. He was finishing on the dot every time. On the dot every time. We put a man there who's sophisticated more than 42 years in power in politics. He broke the rule, and I'm happy that he broke the rule. I'm happy because I broke the rule. And we are there clapping for him. Nelson, that is a disgrace to us because we cannot follow common rule.
I mean, that's the issue.
No, Josh. That particular point you raised, look, the president did not say that. Josh, we are mistaking on something here.
That's
I
what
want
he
us
said.
to listen to this again. The president did not say that.
All right, let's go.
And we thank God for that.
Thank God for it.
It's 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they start cutting you off. But I don't know how we managed. I think for just 15 minutes, they didn't cut us off and watch.
No. The president said he spoke for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they didn't cut him off.
Yeah. That
So it means that, George, you are getting this thing wrong. The president is saying that he spoke within his 15 minutes and they didn't cut him off.
This Nelson, the rule is you are allocated 15 minutes to speak.
Yeah.
As soon as after 15 minutes, they can call you off. But so what sense does that make now, Nelson? If you speak for the time allotted to you and then call you off, then you feel that you want something again. Nelson, this old man does not know what he's saying, Nelson.
No,
the president does not know what he's saying. He keeps lecturing. Nelson, Nelson, look, Nelson, he didn't make any sense, but we're clapping. Nelson, he ought to broke the what Nelson, it hurts me that we cannot even use our critical thinking. This old man is telling, or President Bouakai is telling that the game 15 minutes and he speak for the 15 minutes and then going out. Then we're clapping. What sense does that make?
Okay, no. But will you agree? That the president did not break the law as you claimed previously in your previous assertion? You want to agree on that part first before moving on?
Can you repeat that, please?
That he did not break the law at the UNGA as you just claimed.
He insinuated that he broke the law and they did not call him up. That's what he said, Nelson. And then he went back again and said he spoke for 15 minutes and then call him up. What sense does that make?
Okay, George, please take 30 seconds and conclude your analysis around this speech. We want to go around.
I know you don't like to hear it. And guess what, Nelson?
Everyone is free to express their own.
President Bouakai has left the country every month since he became president. He's leaving again for Italy, I'm told. Nelson, these things are not bringing any money back. And when he leaves, he takes with him a lot of officials that spend a lot of our money out there, Nelson. It's not helping us. It's not benefiting anyone. Anyone in our country. You can support him, you can clap for him all you want. George, I'm living in Australia. Yeah. I don't even care who the prime minister, because my daily bread is sound. It's just coming. It doesn't have to do who is president. I will always work. So it's politics like Liberia, not politics like here. So you can be there and be clapping for Bouakai when Bouakai talk complete book. I don't want to say what I want to say,
No,
but
Josh.
when
Anyway,
it-
thank you very much.
no, but
Let's
let
move
me
to
conclude, let me
Raymond, go
conclude,
ahead. Let's
let me
take on this
conclude.
issue here.
The president can say
Let's
any kind of thing he
let,
wants to
let,
say,
let's
and then you
let
start clapping at your business. But we are saying that President Bouaka is not doing well for this country. He can go there and lecture us everything. What did he lecture that he even did that is coming back to Liberia? Nelson, we have had that position before. The non-permanent member on the United Nations Security Council. What has it done for Liberia? Nothing. This is just a prestigious position, just to be in the play. That's all. But it's not doing anything for us, Nelson. So I will just leave it at that. The president is doing
Thank you.
nothing, and he's boasting for nothing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Raymond, let's hear you on this one.
You see, for me, when we come to the discourse, we should come with a level of objectivity and honesty. But most times, when we have an agenda or we following the wind, where because other criticize, we have to criticize and find any means necessary to criticize, it's a level of self-hate and it's a level of dishonesty. My brother just created a scenario that didn't happen. Why? Because that's what he anticipated. He want negativity. So even if he heard something that is not negative, he will form it negative. And that's his
Nelson,
reality.
can you tell Raymond to just speak about his thing and forget about me? I made my point. Make your own point. Don't have to come to me. Make your own point. Talk
Can
about
I
the
speak
speech.
now?
Talk about the speech. Don't talk about me. Yeah, just leave me alone.
But Josh, let's have the conversation flow. I mean, Josh, the fact that you own the show, you just spoke about President Bouaka. Expect that anybody can make analysis on you. I mean, Josh, let's allow the conversation flow. Let's express. Go ahead, Raymond. Vasco,
And-
welcome to the show.
And any Liberian who will not even refer to his president as a president, it shows a level of self-hate. And why should we be discussing the national progress when the presidency is about national issues and you can't even acknowledge the role of the presidency? You got no stick to fry. You're not even a well-meaning Liberian. If you can't fathom the influence of the presidency and the role of the presidency, if you're that bitter, what can you say that is objective? There's no objectivity in you. The simplest of things, if you can't acknowledge it, what else can come out of you? Nothing. Hate and negativity. And there's too much naysaying in our country in the name of discussing things. If you're not objective to the discourse, everything's going to be bad, no matter how good it is. And for me, that's a level of self-hate that we Liberians are developing. And we, in the same token, we claim to love our country. But the two do not work hand in hand. You can be hating your country at the same time. I can understand you can get frustrated. And your frustration should be objective. It should be earnest. It should come from a place of progress that you wanted to.
Objective
Yeah.
frustration.
Yeah. Nelson, when you get frustrated about a thing, you want to change the thing from the bad to the good. So you earnest. You got to analyze your problem, state your problem to find remedies and solution to your problem. But when your perception about thing is so negative, you create a problem and you become a part of the problem. This honesty never solves a problem.
So Raymond, what's
Only
your
make it worse.
analysis around the president's?
So what I want to say, the president comments are welcoming. There are many issues in Liberia, many things inherited from the past government and the government before. For me, I have come to say since the establishment of the Republic of Liberia, every government have failed the Liberian people. Given the vast resources we have, the amount of wealth and development we should have in our country is not proportionate. So this government share her part. But what the president spoke about that we should be analyzing is the progress made. And for me, from my engineering perspective and my school of thought, I measure progress and I label progress as progress. Irrespective of challenges or failure, I still acknowledge progress. And what the president spoke about are all progress. Let me speak about something that's going to help the traffic solution in our country, the overpass. That we all the time says every time the president travels, nothing comes back. You go with dedication. So you see, when your focus is based on negativity, you see negativity. And when anything positive is done, you're not going to see it. The cost of those two overpass that's going to be constructed is going to help improve our country. When I go back, I will be able to leave from one location to another, move in traffic, and move faster. I appreciate that. And all the efforts being made by the president, even the IMF loans and grants that we keep receiving from Japan and all those things, has to do with the president's bilateral engagement with foreign nations. The truth of the matter is we are among the least developed countries. Until we can understand that, we realize that aid will help us. Why we need aid right now? Because we have mismanaged everything we have. So the reality of the Liberians living in our country is deplorable. It's to a place that they're living in abject poverty. In order to address that, we need aid. That's a reality we can escape. We can only escape that reality when we start to manage what we have adequately. There are many things that need to be done. We can call the president to do those things. But again, when he does something good, let in our same token, tell
Thank
him
you.
what you've done is positive. That's the honesty we need to bring to national discourse, and that's the objectivity we build our nation. But when we become so subjective and only finding fault, no matter what happened, then we're not even a part of the solution. We are the problems. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raymond. I want us to take Bida and Vasco, and then we'll go to the phone lines. Take some calls from our folks out there. Bida, you want to go before Vasco, or you want Vasco to come after?
I want to go before Basco.
Okay, go ahead.
Brother George with the CDC Australia. You know, sometimes we want to be dramatic with the show. But when you spoke about the issue of breaking law, and I went back to history and think about former President Weah when he told Carrasco, you hear me? I gave him 20 for 20. Was that not breaking law in your mind? In relation to how somebody speak on that kind of
If you ask me a
occasion?
question, I can answer you. He was the most unsophisticated guy. He was not worth to be president.
Thank you. I know where you come from.
We're not talking about him. We're talking about the one who has 42 years experience. So talk about him and stop talking about President Weah.
Thank you. But you talk about breaking law. That's why I brought that scenario. Was that not breaking law when somebody's supposed to speak for 15 minutes and they spoke for 20 minutes?
He said they gave me 20,
So
I gave him
basically,
20. What
no,
does that
I
mean
think
to you?
it's okay.
To you, what does that mean?
It's
So you
okay
what I
now.
mean when they say they gave me 20, I give them 20. That means they gave me 20 minutes in allotment and I gave them the 20 minutes back. That's why you're trying to
So
say he didn't bring any law. If he
it's
said they
So
gave me
the
15,
United
I
Nations
thought,
rules can change for President Weah on this
I mean,
honesty.
wait, man. Nobody
so
talking to you
somebody
here.
can
You want to join the
understand. I can
conversation.
understand where the brothers come from. But basically, I want us to enlighten the minds of Liberians on basic thing. You know, I read a report from the Liberian Administrative Steering Systems Management, I think LAX, in collaboration with USAID. They did a report on governance, and sometimes you want to sit down and sometimes reflect on your future or where you find yourself as one who went to school, and you just want to understand governance sometimes from the administrative standpoints, and sometimes know some of the bureaucracy, some of the process attached to it. But we're talking about the president's speech. And that brings me back to that report when the president talked about the issue about being slow, the issue about how people see things like, but things are on course. So I listened to my CDC brother talking about the president is traveling a lot, is not bringing nothing. And it reminds me of the statement the former finance minister said that a lot of grant is signed, that a lot of loans are run here. They actually acknowledge none of these things can. Yeah, because your government was not serious. And the reason you see the president trying in a short period of time, I'm still to be corrected, the president has made a lot of significant progress traveling, in terms of traveling with bilateral, with people who have serious business for Liberia, then President we are, or maybe other president you can talk about. I'm still to be corrected on that in a short time frame. The reason is you didn't see people coming in that short time frame to Liberia because President Weah was not a serious president. He wasn't serious, and he has a lot of shady deeds or people around him that people do not have that international relation or
I mean,
respect
totally
for.
different, man. Totally
So
different.
basically, when you see the president traveling on the average that it is surprising to you. These are some of the reasons. And basically, I also hear you talking about most of each travel, they are not significant. I mean, the country money is going. So, I mean, it tried to bring me back. Like, I want to agree with Raymond Small that when somebody have an agenda and you want to come with a conversation with that agenda, you don't even want to acknowledge few things that you think it is right for our country, but all wants to put the politics in. Brother, you will not erase the fact that international relationship or bilateral conversation at certain level in diplomacy is something that no one want to appreciate. And it brings a lot to your country. Not what you
Thank you.
get quickly, but what you will get in the future. So basically, some of these and when I listen to the president talk about government official as well, that impressed me a lot. He said he's disappointed about some basic things that happen with government official, how government officials have presented themselves, how people proceeding in terms of government. You just and primarily you want it for yourself. You just want what you get in your pocket, but you're not looking at what you're doing. And that's
Thank you.
not only something that only stops the government, but what the future are gonna remember you for. So I think government officials should know that the president is viewing you, observing, and doing whatsoever you think that he's not doing. He's slow, but he's very sure in his progress. Thank you very much, Nelson.
So Vasco, take us to the phone lines. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nelson. Let me say hi to you guys and hi to our listeners, those that are listening to us by the means of radio, and those that watch us on Facebook and YouTube. So, Nelson, I mean, it's just another side day, for a struggling country like Liberia. The president in power for 9 months. He had left our country 9 times, went outside without any tangible coming back to our country. And I think it's not even worth for us to discuss what the president said or did. Because if you go back and listen to the president, he said nothing. Nothing the man said. These are not things that the Liberian people want to listen to. After traveling out of the country for 9 different times, you come back and telling us, say, oh, how the Secret Service and other things, how the people committed. And in fact, he met one senator, and the senator, they had discussed. I mean, nothing the man said other than nothing. Nothing.
So Vasco, are you saying that you understand nothing? You understood nothing?
But what the man said, you won't play that man, you understand anything the man said?
No, maybe you didn't understand it because if nothing was understood, then obviously you wouldn't have like Josh made analysis around the issue as well. Your own Josh made analysis around the issue.
The man was saying, the man said the Secret Service, they are committed to their job. And he met one senator, I know Senator what? Senator also, yeah.
So Vasco, if you don't have any point to make on this conversation,
I'm making point.
Please allow us go to the phone line. Because
Vasco just was sleeping. Just brought him on the show.
Vasco. The president did not say the Secret Service is committed to
but that's you now play the whole speech.
No.
You wouldn't want to play the part that the president said.
Now, two in talk about Secret Service.
They may talk about Secret Service. Nancy, the man said, man, one senator, the senator was so good. The senator was good to him. He went and how he going to play Iowa in Maryland Liberian community, and I know Iowa aware. I mean, that's nothing.
Vasco. Maybe you didn't get this. Let me come here a bit, Vasco. Maybe you didn't get this. But the president said Liberia is making progress. You may not see it. It may be a little bit slow, but the country is making progress. He said for a very long time, there hasn't been a very huge investment coming to the country. And that's why he's going out. That's why he's making all those different trips. And everything is going to settle in. Gradually, the country will start to make progress. And then he went on to caution the people, his lieutenants, his representatives in government, the people he has appointed to serve in different capacity, calling on them to come to public service with honesty, with sincerity, and with that heart to make impact in their respective locations, in the different positions they're serving in. And Vasco, you come back on this radio with thousands of people listening to you across Liberia, across social media, and you say the president said nothing, Vasco.
Okay, Nelson, before the president will even take office, you listen to the president interview right on VOA. The things he said on VOA is not the same thing he was saying. They feel it again about public servant. Nobody, before you come to his government, you have to declare your asset. No, we tired with the red trace. Nelson, not the same thing. Go compare the VOA interview and listen to what the man was saying about public officials. What a difference?
But doesn't that signal that he's intentional about everything he's saying? That's why he keep re-emphasizing it.
Nelson, let me tell you,
Free
you
talk,
can
free talk, Nelson, free talk.
travel all of the country
No,
1,000 times.
Josh is about to go in the back.
You can travel all of the country 1,000 times. You can face the country right in Liberia. What are the actions of this president? The president is listening to all the information. He got the information about Amin Moda. He hearing the people crying about the DEA. They suspended official of the DEA. We're going 4 months now, going to 5 months. What is this man action? Can you see the action from the president? For him to come back and say that, me telling us, say, oh, and the Secret Service, and the people committed to their job. Listen, if the president start to take action, people will know that the president is serious. The president is not serious at all.
Thank you. I want to go in there, Vasco.
To come by and say that and deputy up stories, that's all. And lie to us. Y'all want to counter Josh. You listen to the thing clearly, Nelson, but you want to say Josh not saying the right thing. That's what the man said. The man said they can get people 15 minutes to talk at the UN or General Assembly. But he said, in fact, he went more than 15 minutes and they didn't call him off. So he,
I don't know.
And that's how we do. I just said before go to the line. Every time when our president come back from out of the country, right? And nobody can go to the church to speak to the people. When he came back, 2 different. Okay, most of the time he can't go to the church. Can you ask yourself why he went to his house?
No, but President George, we have to start going to church.
No.
Ellen Johnson said
even when he can't go to the Baptist church.
Yeah,
you know why he went to his house? He never had nothing to say to anybody. So the year we started to
guys, we have to go to the phone.
Thank you very much.
You got nothing to tell people. Let people listening.
So let's go to the phone.
You got wear purple suit to that. You work
055101075. The number support tonight. I'm going to put the WhatsApp number up. So we will take 10 calls. We'll take just 10 calls and then we wrap up tonight. 055101075. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon and Nelson Colette. On the panel tonight, we have Vasco. We have Vasco Smo, Bila Soiree, George Wheeler, Francis Jabate, and Raymond is in the background. Let's take the first call from WhatsApp and then we're going to go to the local lines. Hello.
Yeah, Nelson, how you doing?
Yes, sir. We're doing good.
Thank you. This is, but I beg you, Nelson, just give me few time to talk. Georgie, thank you for asking that question. Our career in Liberia, number 1. I will get to the president issue. Our career, Liberians, our career, number 1 is by mocking one another. That was on a career around the world. For typical example, Nelson, if you are leading an organization out of Liberia, they want to see your downfall. Always Liberians. That's our career. Other country citizens have their career. George Wheeler, you're right. Nigeria had a career of scanning other people. Other countries have their own career of taking things, Ghana, taking things to Liberia. To Ghana. But what is our career? Our career is to sit here, swallow the GB, eat the dead chicken, and bad mouth one another.
But they can't eat
That's
living
our-
chicken now. The chicken has to be dead before you eat it.
No, you can kill some chicken. You can kill chicken and eat it. You can go on the fire and kill chicken and eat it. But when Liberia forgetting to know that whatsoever you do in another people's country, you will carry it over there. Nursing, for typical example, we came in this country to cleansing ourselves. But the cleanliness, when Liberia leave from here, they go, they take the same dark heart that they brought from Liberia to another foreign country. Let me get to the president's speech.
Yeah, I just want you to end up there quickly because we have to take some
Yeah,
calls.
let me get to the president's speech. Vasco. President Bouakai is 79 years, going to 80 years. If you can see 79 years old man going around the world, the good thing that the old man is doing, you not bring it up and talk about it. But next month, the 15th, no, not next month, this month, the 15th of this month, the road leading from Ganta to Guajira will start working on it. The old path, the one leading from Bonkate to Meninkuma in Lofa, they come and work on it. How do you guys always say that and say the old man is lying, the old man is doing this?
Thank
There
you.
is no tangible that you get the other country, the foreign country money to just waste it on Liberia.
Thank you.
When your president was there, what tangible did he bring one day?
I want to hold you there. Thank you, sir.
Jesus.
The
Thank you.
Emerald- the
Thank you very
Emerald-
much for your input. 0555-101075. We'll take 9 more calls. Hello? Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
All right, my name is Josiah Smooth from the Commandant Island, commonly called 540.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say thank God for our president, His Excellency. First of all, JMB, meaning Jesus Network blessing, have been given to this country. So this president, our president, he speaks like a leader, making our cases because those guys from the Sycamore tree, their president destroy the country image outside on the international level. That when you speak outside, no one want to respect you so easily, take you to be authorities. That's why JMB is making the case, settling the concrete issues on the international level, and people at this Liberia is gaining their permanence in the community of nations. When he comes, he speaks to the nations for about 30 minutes, talking to our country. Unless Georgia, when he used to come and go saying, draw, beat it, draw, beat it, when he finish mismanage our money, that the men are told us that they get him to boost the morale. We're not only trying to build this country image in Liberia can be recognized.
Thank
like
you.
It has been done now.
You know, but just before you go, just before you go, you say what did JMB stand for again?
Jesus Network Blessing.
Oh,
that have been given to Liberia.
Jesus Network Blessing.
Jesus Network Blessing that Liberia has received. And you can see it for yourself. And they're going to move forward.
So wait, the network connect. No, come in. The network connecting Liberia to heaven, like a kind of connection between Liberia to heaven, or
I mean, the message Jesus Network blessing.
You can see when the owner trouble.
It don't make sense, sir. You're trying to look for a new one.
That's what Liberia has received.
Thank you.
The person will succeed. Those guys are saying on the Sagabo tree.
Thank
they
you.
are right to talk because they are Liberian.
Thank
so
you.
that the president can know his mistakes. That's why he said we listen to our critics.
I want to hold you there, sir. Thank you very much for your input. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello, your name and where you calling from? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, my brother.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you, sir. Let's hear your name and where you call from.
Thank you. Thank you for the next show. But Joe Bouakai, my brother, I voted for the UP. But I'm frustrated.
Why?
And you understand? Because all the things that Joe Bouakai said, my brother, nothing we see. The man saying 90 days, God will not hear. Joe Bouakai now tried more than now, almost 10 times. We can't see anything. Okay, I can tell you now, my brother. I'm my child is going to school now. And you know what I'm saying? The little contract we see anything. There's no contract. Nothing coming. We see anything.
So you think that JMB responsible for the contract and not coming and stuff like that?
But the making the man how whole I experience and then whoever for the somewhere, yes. the message when you can't company will waste more than 10 or 15,000 jobs will be wasted. After the time, we the contractor, we can't get job, we can't get even to put to what I want.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So we have set up, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, your name and where you call from?
I'm from Cowell in Central Park.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you from Cowell.
Oh, my brother, let me just say something. So I'm first time to call, but it's very much frustrating to see our brothers in America. People are expecting to go and learn. And they sit on national radio that makes sense. And they speak to other people who want to come there and learn. How can a person speak and you say there's no sense at all? Only thing you get is you talk about or service or service. Wow. For me, I'm frustrated. I'm first time to call for people to be in America.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go there and take another person. Hello.
Good morning, Nelson. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's good to have you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my brother, thank you. This is Mustafa Roger from Chiquito Factory. Nelson, you see Spoon FM network for the Liberian people. The CEO said can't stop nobody. The CEO said will not tell you off somebody. You see this guy? We monitor them day and night. So I will make sure tomorrow when CEO come online, and I will tell you, will not need these guys. And the guy is controlling you to off people that are saying the truth to the Liberian people. Then he's saying you shouldn't be keeping people online. Like saying the truth. You never want to listen to the truth, go to the radio station at same time again. Same time radio station is the one when he's saying something, he will say, cut the person off. So if we cut the person off again, tomorrow when they come on air, we'll come with group. You Nelson will feed it, they will not feed it. Seriously. And tomorrow morning, I'll make sure I will reach out and call the CEO. The general who's going to control the people.
How the man make it threat, man? The man want to make it threat.
Thank you very much. No, guys, let's do this. Is the callers is their turn to speak, to express themselves? Let's give them the time.
They should not threaten us.
The beauty of this show, listen,
they can't do nothing to me though, but it's just
everybody should have the opportunity to express themselves. All right. So let's give the callers the time. Let them say what they think about everything we're doing here. I just want everybody to be safer in putting their points through. That's all. Hello.
And we're not the only ones who have opinion. As much as we have opinion, we can air our opinions. The callers should air their opinion.
There's Nelson. Go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Thank you so much.
Paco from District 9. Go ahead quickly. Let's hear you. We have another person here.
Come on. Thank you for the show. The show
Can you go to the discussion? Can you go to the issue, sir?
I'm going to the issue.
Yeah, Paco, please go to the issue.
Come on. Our president, la president. We for the United Party, we can have our feeling. We tell Eric Chosen a two in a place for the executive 2 years. We think Joe Paga well too. So we are coming to code your Sada in a place to reset. So I will not love this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paco. Let's hold you there. You know there are lots of people trying to call in. Paco, boy, I get understand you sometimes, Paco. Let me respond to the thing here. The last time I was not on the show, you were calling Damo Nelson. Today I'm on the show, you calling me Damo. Paco, when you call me on the show, listen to the presenter. You know the person you engage in. You know, this thing is important. But let's take this person. Hello. Hello. Yeah, hello. You are live. Let's hear you.
How you doing?
Yes, sir. We're okay. You're live on the show.
Hello.
You are live.
How you doing?
Yes, sir. You are live on the show.
This is Joseph Bakwale Cole. You know, I don't know. Can you hear me?
You are live on the show, sir. I think you have something on in the background that you have to turn down because we.
Oh, well, I think it might be it might be the TV. So.
Yeah, but if your TV is on, then you have to turn down the volume of the TV so that we don't get the feedback.
I already did.
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
I don't know what Vasco and George did on the show. I don't really know. I don't understand. Their government came in power, failed dramatically. And here are old men who cannot hardly walk. How to do something better. And they are still bad morphing him, saying all kind of stuff about him. You know, it's like if someone is hungry, you give them 1 cup of red to cook. It doesn't just take 1 minute to cook. It takes a long time for that food to be cooked.
Okay.
So let us give this old man a chance.
Thank you.
To see what he's going to do.
Thank you very much, sir.
And
thanks a lot.
I'm Joseph Bakwale Cole.
Okay, Mr. Bakwale Cole, thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate you. We're going to take the last two.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I was saying thank you. Thanks a lot for your input.
You know, don't just call me out because my wife and my in-law, they are next in line, and I think they just wait all their time to me. You can be, patient to give me those time to really talk. I will really appreciate that.
Oh, for them to talk on the show too?
Oh no, they only wait their time to me. You know, they are.
No. We actually.
I know I hate you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to hear me talking.
No, I mean, trust me, sir. I have absolutely no problem with anybody disagreeing with me. I mean, this is something that we are into, and and stuff like that. We expect all of that, but it's just that we have another caller on the line, and we are out of time. We are seriously running out of time. The technical team has signaled to me. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Okay, sir. Let me squeeze the second to the last caller, then we'll go. Hello, quickly, just 30 seconds, sir. You're live.
How are you?
Yes, sir.
Vani is my name.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know whether Vasco and George, whether they can understand English. Because anything they don't make, the Bible says they don't understand. They don't understand. I beg you try and teach. Yeah? Thank you.
Okay. The people, let's see why people speak English. Hello.
Hello, Nancy.
Yeah, you are the final caller now. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, I firstly have to appreciate you guys for the show. It's a very good show, and I do appreciate everybody and our listeners as well. But next thing I have a concern. Next thing sometimes some of our guys come on the show. I believe people using them to draw attention, which of course I really don't believe that people should be talking back at them, because the more you talk back at them, the next day they come with more negative things. That's how to do with the George, the Vasco, and Francie. Now, for Francie, I did ask Francie a question last week, which of course I asked him how long he been in America. He haven't answered. But I'll leave beyond Francie. Francie will answer me that question. And then I added another question to him. I don't really know if Francie really know the function of government. And if so, I don't think you'll be talking that. And secondly,
but what's your issue with Francis? What's your issue?
Yeah, my issue with Francis is Francis doesn't discuss the topics directly, because he got the ambitions of, let's say, the anxiousness of government working in one day, which of course, the moment you touch somebody over there right now, they will say, oh, the Lord say they want, the Lord do they want, the Lord do this one. Now, don't you think Bogas is taking his time to observe, to let the person fall into this situation for real, that Nobody will be able to come and say the Lord said they want, the Lord said they want, the Lord said that one. He just want for them to just come one day and they just take action. Let's say, for example, if those guys was your own people, let's say your father or maybe your brother or your cousin, do you think you are going to be sitting down on the show here today and be telling, oh, the government is supposed to fire anyone, the government is supposed to do this one?
Thank you.
Come on, Francis.
Thank you.
You are leader. Francis are here for a company. He's supervisor. Does he just go about it? They just fire somebody because the person do this one just like that? You have to go through the proper channel, Francis.
Thank you.
Please, let's go through it.
Thank you. I want to hold you there. Thank you very much for your input, sir. I think we're out of time now. We can do our closing. Let's start with you, Vasco. Bida will be next, and then yeah, we just follow the queue. Go ahead.
Okay, Nelson, thank you. Let me say thank you to all the callers, those of you that have issue with us, and those are the people that understand what they're going through in the country. Look, we will continue to say what we always say on this show. What we are looking at, President Bouaka will go down in history as one of the worst president ever. Because we have a president that don't know what he's doing. He's not even understanding his own government. And this is the man people talk about have for the 2 years experience. Though the people are better in the country. You having a struggling economy. You try, how many times since you came to office? 9 good times. He came by telling us you will rob, we borrow and all to go to your office. Why are you having $1.1 million?
Thank you. Thank you, Vasco.
The vice president for 2 vehicles.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna see your president want it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to hold you there and take Bida. Bida, go ahead quickly.
Thank you very much. It was a good show. And let me thank those who phoned in. Everyone that been contributing to the conversation about whatsoever mean. You know, when Muhammad Gandhi talk about those who serving government should be slave, that basically reflect on what you give him back to your people. And that is a very saying that should open the minds of Liberians. For us, our primary goal is what our people can get in return in terms of governance. But obviously, we're gonna be in rush. We're gonna be like hasty about certain decision, but government in relation to how it makes progress is a whole lot of things. But I think it was a good conversation. We don't have time in our favor. Thanks to you for always having Oya. And it's a pleasure to be back here to discuss Mama Labira tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Bida. Raymond, 30 seconds.
And so first, let me thank the audience, our callers especially who call in. And let me say to you, you have a voice on this show as much as us panelists. Most time when we speak our opinion and what we believe. So when you come on the show, what you speak is your opinion and what you believe. And I respect you as such. I don't think any of us got a right to talk back to you, especially harshly, when you have expressed your opinion. On the contrary, I want to thank the president for what he said, and we want to urge the government. You are servants of the people. The situation in Liberia that the people are facing, you are the solution. President Bouaka and your code of officers, all those appointed in government. Thank you, President Bouaka, for saying you will listen to your critics, including George Vasco. But I would say listen to people like Francis, because most times they are objective. Francis was the last time the one who corrected me when I said there were 2 vehicles, because sometimes even some of us that support the rescue mission, we listen to the lies, and sometimes we're not able to decipher the lies from the truth. I have read multiple times that there were 2 vehicles, but Francis was the one who told me it was 10 vehicles that were bought with $1.1 million. So I'm just trying to say, when President George Weah was president, I was at the occasion at the Dole Community Road. When we were dedicating that road, President Weah said, those who criticize his government are considered enemy of the state. President Bouaka, on the contrary, is saying he will listen to the critics and he would take what they're saying that are constructive.
Thank you.
And use it. Thank you. This is a new form of government, and we look forward to the improvement of our country.
Josh, let's hear you, and then Francis will take us on.
Look, Nelson, thank you, and thanks to our listeners. It was a really incredible show. We will speak truth to power, regardless of how people think about it, how people feel. We are Liberians. No one is more Liberian than anyone here. And as such, we are at liberty to express our opinion in how much we see fit. We're not going to insult people. We're not going to fight people. We're going to use our knowledge and our ability to speak truth to power to do it here, right on this network. And I'm sure the CEO or the former CEO is a proponent of free speech. So we'll continue to be here to say it out. We will say it and I'll reiterate. President Bouaka is doing nothing. He's spending our money, bringing nothing back every day. We come that sweep up. The same man who told us, say, before you can be appointed in my government, you will declare your asset. He got hundreds of people behind him who have not declared asset, and he's flying with them up and down. And this is the man that want to take seriously, and people are here and they want to chastise us because we speak true to him. It's ridiculous. This man is like a grandfather sitting around a fire and telling his children stories. That's what he does. He doesn't make any correlation between what he says and what he does. There's no correlation. And we'll be sitting here and want to pet him. President Bouaka either wake up or he just leave our country because he's doing nothing. He's spending our money for no reason, bringing nothing back whatsoever. What is the investment?
Thank you very much, Josh.
Gone.
Thank you very much, Josh. Francis, please take us home quickly.
Yes, thanks to all our viewers, our callers, and everything, you know. So, yeah. First, I mean, people feeling will get hurt. There's a free country, free airspace. You can say what you want to say, but you don't have the right to threaten anybody. So when the caller came on, and we said to cut the mail, not because we didn't want to hear what he was saying, Raymond, because he was making threats to go to the studio with people and things. So that's not freedom of speech. We don't want that on the airspace here. But the thing here is, I'm still of the conviction that the Liberian people did the right thing by voting out the CDC administration. But that doesn't mean because I supported the United Party administration during the campaign time, I will sit here and say, oh, the media been in power for 9 months. Nobody said the man should pave the street that go. But there are certain things that can be done that don't even need budget to be passed. Certain steps he can take. The Liberian people will see that he's fighting for them. Nobody called for just fire people. He appointed people, he decided to work with them. But if people are not working, they're not doing their job, he should fire them. You can go to work and you don't do your job and you mismanage people for you embezzle or not doing the right thing and you still keep your job. And the president have called us people. I remember saying, Joe, we are called us people for the Liberian people. The president have called us people for the Liberian people too. This is the first time in a long time I've seen him even talk to the Liberian people saying he's been traveling. So people can get their feelings all they want. Liberian got no time to waste. Okay? Liberian got no time to waste. When it comes to simple things and wasteful spending, how you go pay somebody that you make more money than that person? If you got 10 bag of red, you can add one bag of red and give it to you. That thing makes sense to anybody.
But if you got 500 bags of rice and I got 10, I can't ask you for one. You should give me one.
No. If I got 500 bags of rice, you got 10, and I can't beg you for one. It makes sense? So when we talk about the wasteful spending in Liberia, our government officials every day they're creating new entities. And all the new entities getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars every year or $10,000 a month.
Well, I want to say thank you, Francis.
Let's go to America and go beg America for money.
It's been a great show.
To Europe and beg Europe for money.
Maybe Jay is waiting for you, Francis.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's been a great show.
Just happening the sound. Go to
it's been a great show, guys, and I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thanks to our viewers across the world. come on here and we do what we do. We appreciate all of you, your contributions, your disagreements, even in the comment section. Sometimes you're rough, sometimes you're smooth, sometimes you condemn us, sometimes you commend us. But listen, we appreciate every single bit of it. And thanks to our audience across Radio Land as well. And let's hope we can be here tomorrow with another edition of the Late Night Show. Until then, thank you, Vasco Smo. Thank you, Bila Soare. Thank you, Raymond Zeze. Somebody said the name for Raymond, but I will not call that name today.
Don't call the name. None of my names.
And Nessie,
no name offends me.
Vasco on the show when you sleeping. Vasco,
thank you. Thank you very much, Raymond Tanukole Zeze. And thanks and Francis Javate, we appreciate you, my guys.
I'm Walver. Nelson, I'm Walver. I'm not Tanukole. I'm Walver.
Okay, so folks, have a good night and bye-bye for now.